Hello, I am DJ, and welcome back to part 3 of my pottery journey. After we moved to Denver, I spent several months looking for affordable and comparable pottery studio to what I had in Chicago. But everything was too expensive and too popular to get in, so after a lot of deliberating and watching many YouTube videos, I decided to buy my own wheel and turn my laundry room into a pottery studio. I learned that if you don't buy a kiln or a sink, it's actually fairly easy to create a space to make pottery. On the first day of using the wheel for the first time though, I spilled a bucket of brown clay and water all over the floor and wall. This was an omen that I was going to learn a lot of things the hard way. I got to work after that creating again, making some of my old style of pieces I like the faceted cups and taped down designs. As the year went on though, I began to learn that I really did not know a lot of things about ceramics. I realized that although I had been making ceramics for over 5 years at this point, my studio in Chicago managed so much for me, such as reclaiming clay, glazes and how to actually apply them, and what types of clay to use. So I had to learn all of these things and more. It felt like I was a beginner potter again, and was back to square one. That first year I made so many mistakes. Almost all of the pottery I made came out brown, because I didn't read the directions and understand how to hand paint glazes onto pieces. I also outsource all of my kiln firing, so I had to let go of control. Almost every piece I made came out not as I intended or disfigured in some way, at least to me. So I decided I needed to slow down and learn. I decided to make the obvious choice to make some test tiles. I became more intentional with what I made and followed correct processes more closely. Over this past year, I have solved some of those mistakes, learned a little bit more, and gained some of my confidence back in this art form. But I'm still a long way from being any sort of expert. I'd say I'm slightly more than a beginner now. But with this confidence, I started to make pieces that I actually loved and valued, which ultimately is all I can ask for. I even started to push myself and throw larger amounts of clay and try new techniques that interested me. So much so that I made my favorite piece that I've ever made this year. But my pottery journey does not end here. It will go on forever, as long as I practice this art. If this story was any interest to you, follow along to see this journey continue to unfold. And thanks for watching. Bye!